Well, I hope everybody by now realizes that nonviolent communication is not about communication. I mean, a little bit of it, a tiny little piece of it. Nonviolent communication is an integration of several things, of which communication is just a little part. And nonviolent communication is certainly not the 4 steps. The more we think of it as mechanically observation, feelings, needs, requests, the harder it's going to be to live nonviolent communication. So what is it? That's the hardest question for me to answer about the process, what it is. Because it's much easier to say what it isn't. It isn't communication, just communication. Communication is a part. For me, the most important part of it is the consciousness of what it's trying to serve, its purpose, what it is designed to do, whatever it is. So for me, the most important part of it is an intention. Some people in English, instead of intention, would probably use the word the spirituality that it's designed to serve. I'm reluctant to use the word spirituality since some people have that associated with some pretty violent concepts. So whether we want to call it intention, purpose, spirituality, that for me is the most important component of what I mean by nonviolent communication. And unless that consciousness is really what is guiding us, whatever comes out would not be what I would probably call nonviolent communication. So what is that purpose or intention? To create a certain quality of connection with ourself and with other people. To create a connection that allows compassionate giving and receiving to take place naturally. So it's all about compassionate giving and receiving. How do we connect with ourselves and others so that that takes place naturally? Now, what do I mean by compassionate giving and receiving? First of all, it's easy to say what it isn't. It means not doing anything out of obligation. Don't do anything because you should, because it's the right thing to do, because you feel obligated to do it. Life's too short to do anything out of duty or obligation. What it doesn't involve, as far as I'm concerned, is doing anything for rewards. Just yesterday, I read a recent study quoted by Alfie Kohn, whose book, Punished by Rewards, I like very much. And it showed research showing that students in school who learn for rewards are far less likely to maintain and continue the learning. And so anything we do for rewards is a tragic use of our human energy. And, of course, never do anything to avoid punishment. Don't do anything to avoid criticism. Don't do anything to get praise and compliments. So that's what I would suggest not doing. Any question about that so far? So nonviolent communication is designed to show us a way in which we can connect with ourselves and others so that we operate out of a different energy than that created by rewards, punishment, criticism, praise, duty, obligation. So, what is compassionate giving and receiving? First, it's where you can't tell the giver from the receiver. It's hard to use the word giver when it's compassionate giving, because the giver is receiving, is doing this to meet their own needs. Now, as radical as that sounds, that nonviolent communication is designed to have us give always when we're just doing it to meet our own needs, it sounds pretty radical. And if you have certain ears on, it can sound selfish, except I don't think human beings ever do anything for any other reason. I doubt that anybody in this room has ever done something for somebody else. I believe that human beings are like every other form of life. Every action that's taken by something alive is to serve its life. It's only because we've been educated for the last 7,000 or 8,000 years to live within domination structures that we have been educated in a most unnatural way. Instead of, like every other form of life, to get our needs fulfilled, we have been educated to associate our needs with selfishness, neediness. Needs are seen as kind of immature, dependent, weak. Just about everything negative that you can associate something with, needs have been associated with, because the structures we have created to live with under and on our planet require people being educated to be nice, dead people. And what you must program them to believe is that our job is to do that which our superiors define as right, so that we can be rewarded. If we do that while we are alive, then when we're dead, we go to this place called heaven. If we fail at that game of obeying authority, we go to the other place called Detroit. I mean hell. Growing up in Detroit, I get those two places mixed up. So, nonviolent communication is designed to help us to meet our own needs. And one of our strongest needs, according to Viktor Frankl, the Austrian psychiatrist, the strongest need is a need for meaning, purpose. And however we define that, I believe it boils down to serving life. That our strongest need is to find a way to serve life. So we never do anything for others. If we're really doing it out of a conscious energy, we're doing it to meet our need to enrich life. There's nothing we like better than to enrich life, unless we think we're being forced to do it. Unless we think somebody's going to criticize or blame us if we don't do it, or that they're going to withhold their love, then any action takes the joy out of it. But when we're conscious that we really never do anything except to meet our own needs, that's a very important start of nonviolent communication, to help us with that, to realize that we never do anything for others, only to meet our own needs. Any questions about that? So, I developed nonviolent communication because I could see that the language that I learned and the way of using power and the thinking that I was educated to do, those three things, thinking, language, and the use of power, and those three go together. They're integrated. Thinking, language, use of power. I saw that the way I was educated to think, the language that I was given to think with, and the use of power, I saw they did not serve that consciousness of living my life to meet my needs and to meet my needs compassionately and to connect with others so that we can give and receive compassionately. I saw the language, the thinking, the use of power did not serve that. For example, my brain was programmed with a very tragic way to give people language. It involved the use of this very dangerous phenomenon called the verb to be. I hope your brain wasn't programmed that way. If you have the verb to be in your head, you will think that some things a person does are right, and some things they do is wrong. You will think there's such a thing as normal people and abnormal people. You will think there's such a thing as attractive people and ugly people. Do any of you have any of those words in your head? You do.